On Saturday afternoon, the racing community learned of the tragic passing of NASCAR Whelen modified legend Ted Christopher. As families do in difficult times, Ted Christopher's racing family has pulled themselves closer to pay tribute to this great racer, their friend, their rival, their hero. They will race because that's what Ted would have wanted. Hi, everybody. I'm Ralph Shaheen. Here's Derek Bernasiglio.
Ralph, Ray, we race with a heavy heart tonight. We feel lost because we've experienced loss this afternoon. We learned that Ted Christopher passed away in a plane crash en route to the racetrack here tonight at the Riverhead Raceway. Ted Christopher was a legend of short track racing. He was competitive in anything he hopped into. He was the 2008 NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour champion. He was the 2001 NASCAR Whelen All-American Series national champion. He made starts in all three of NASCAR's national series. He also had 42 wins in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, 3 of them coming right here at the Riverhead Raceway. But as Teddy would want it, he would just want to go racing. And tonight, that's exactly what we're going to do. An icon of short track racing and a legend indeed. Bob Finan, the track announcer, put it perfectly here when he said, all sports have their legends. Basketball has Michael Jordan. Football has Tom Brady. Hockey had Wayne Gretzky. And now, short track racing has Ted Christopher.
And Derek, Ralph, you know, often in sport we lose champions, but it's when a champion's character transcends his record on the racetrack, it makes it extremely difficult. Very difficult night tonight for these guys here and all the fans. So, but to honor Teddy, the best way to do that is to race.
And in his honor, the car that Ted was on the way here to Riverhead to drive, the 82, making a memorial lap.
He wants us to run this race, and he wants us to have a race just like he loved to be in. So we're going to give him a race now.
Ted Christopher was a modern-day legend, cut from the mold of Evans, Cook, Stevens, and Jarzombek. Ted Christopher was a throwback, a man who could drive any car, any time, and push it to the absolute limit, sometimes over. His battles from New England to Florida were legendary, and anything less than a win was defeat. But he was also a mentor. Ted Christopher took time to show young drivers the fast way around, but maybe not give away all his secrets. Many have said there will never be another quite like Ted Christopher, and that could very well be true. We celebrate the man tonight, but the legend of Ted Christopher will stand for generations to come. Godspeed, TC. Welcome back to Riverhead Raceway, the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, the Miller Lite 200. Here in Riverhead, New York, now it is time to go racing. Cars are out on the track getting set to go on a nice night for battling it out here on a very unique racetrack rate, just 67 degrees.
Yeah, a lot round like Oswego was last week, but you know, this place has got a lot of character. Going to be tough on the right rear. Cars have got to accelerate. A lot of regulars in the field tonight that could cause a problem for some of our tour regulars because this, again, knowing this track makes a difference.
Only 50 miles, but that's 200 laps around this place.
It is, and you can wear a right rear tire out pretty quick, and let me tell you, that 200 laps will feel like hours if you're sliding that car around.
Of course, the tour regulars are pretty strong, but Derek, I'm going to guess some of those Riverhead regulars are some guys we should keep an eye on.
Ralph, Ray, the race at Riverhead Raceway always becomes interesting each and every year because it becomes a battle between the Riverhead Modified regulars and the regulars of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. The Riverhead regulars always give the tour guys the biggest run for their money when they come to this racetrack for the simple reason of them having the local knowledge. They know how to set up for this racetrack and they know how to get around. But the big equalizer is the 200 laps. The weekly modified racers are only used to doing 30 or even 50 lap races here each week, so they're not used to these endurance type of races, and that's where the field will come back to the Riverhead regulars. You'll see the guys in the modified tour who are conditioned to run these extra distance laps. The Riverhead regulars, they're going to try to hang in there and stick it out for the duration around this tight quarter-mile bull ring here tonight.
Ralph, I think they're going to do more than hang in there because the guys on Long Island have been known for having great equipment.
And Timmy Solomito, former points leader, starting on the pole with Kyle Soper right alongside of him.
Current points leader Ryan Priest back there in row 7.
Eric Goodale in the 58's been pretty strong this year. He's on the inside in row 9 as we round out the field. Getting set to go green here. Here we go, coming up to speed, and we're racing at Riverhead.
Timmy Solomito with a good jump there, but he's got to get out and get in the rhythm. You see that track's got a little character, like I said, Ralph. Cars moving up and down a good bit. Full tank of fuel. Surprised we're not seeing any sparks.
And the slipping and sliding starts right away, doesn't it?
It really does. You know, the Riverhead, as I said, it's one of those older surfaces like we like to see in the Cup Series now, because it makes the driver drive, gives him more options, gives the crew chief some more options. Tire management comes into play.
Sapienza in the 36, back in about 5th place. Kobe is up into 3rd. There's Pennick in the blue 3. Take these guys a couple laps to find their position, but more importantly, Ray, like you said, it's that groove that you got to get into. It just becomes almost, not routine maybe isn't the right word, but you're on the gas, count back on the rhythm, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what gives these guys that run Riverhead all the time, you know, I think a little leg up on some of our greats from the tour, because it just takes so much rhythm to get around a short track like this. But it's hard to have that rhythm when you're in that much traffic and you're side by side. Like
Ronnie Williams is here in that white 21, working on the outside here.
And Rowan Pennick's car in the 3 is probably a little bit better, but, you know, they're already 2 wide, and I don't think you want to do 3 wide.
That's Priest right behind him in that white and blue 6.
Ryan, current point leader, but got a big weekend coming up next weekend. Going to run Kentucky in the 1.5 miles. Has done a great job on the smaller stuff. A lot of the Cup and Xfinity teams are taking a look to see how he's going to do on the 1.5 miles now.
You were looking for sparks. Williams gave you some, but not the way he or you were thinking they would come. That was from banging the wall, not scruffing the bottom of the car.
Yeah, thank goodness for those big Nerf bars. Hopefully he did not hit it with the right rear wheel and just scrape some of that Nerf bar off.
That's Rob Summers in the 64 we caught a glimpse of as we go back to the front.
Yeah, we see Kobe closing in. You know, has run well. Only 1 win this year, but has been really consistent with top 3 finishes.
Soper hanging on there in 2nd place with more. Here's Derek.
One of those Riverhead regulars, Kyle Soper, running in that 2nd spot right now, giving the regulars of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour a run for their money. Kyle Soper driving for Wayne Anderson here tonight, a 6-time track champion here at the Riverhead Raceway. That team won 2 championships with Sean Solomito behind the wheel of that car. Sean Solomito vacated the car mid-season. Kyle Soper hopped in. He's doing a fine job tonight, put the car on the outside pole, and now he's running up there in the top 5.
But Sean Solomito is running here tonight as well.
Yeah, he's actually driving for Max Zeckham. Zeckham, a bit of a concussion sitting out, so Sean's filling in with him right now.
That would be the 20 car. And we have our first caution just inside of 20 laps into the race. Looks like Corey Oslin and Matt Swanson in the 89. That's Oslin in the yellow 14, and Swanson get together.
Doesn't seem to be any damage there. Swanson might not have made contact. Maybe the 14 got turned around and kind of pinned him up against the wall there. We'll see.
Gary McDonald rolling by in the blue 26 there. Yeah, Swanson's car looks okay.
A little bit of wiggle on their front, right front there. Might have just touched the wall. Those wheels are they are made out of steel, but they're light and they do bend fairly easy.
Here's a look at it.
Maybe some contact there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You know, like Swanson tried to dive down under him and just slid up into him. It's tough on a short track, Ralph. Not a lot of room out there.
The pace truck lights are off already, and we'll be going back to green.
Let's see what happens here. Two pretty experienced guys here. Kyle Soper won earlier this evening in late model.
Back at it. This is a good opportunity for Kobe now on the inside, sitting in third. Whoa, he gets a little loose off of 4, and the top 2 start to squirt away a little bit.
Some good side-by-side racing there.
Solomito has had a very interesting season, having led so much of the point standings early. Here comes Soper back to the inside, battling for the lead, Derek.
Timmy Solomito leading the way right now. Won this race back in June, and the car that he is driving has won the last 2 modified races here at the Riverhead Raceway. In the last 3 outings here at the Riverhead, he's got 2 wins and a 2nd place. So this car has a very good track record at this track, and he also put the car on the pole tonight.
Solomito with a total of 3 wins. As I said, Ray led the points for a large chunk of the season, and Panic!
Oh, Panic and Priest get together there.
Panic hangs on. Solomito went from the points lead to 4th in the standings coming into tonight.
Yeah, you know, we talked about Timmy a lot. Oh, wow, Rowan, big time there. A 2nd hit into the wall, got shoved up on the outside. Couldn't see what happened there, but that one, the first one didn't really hurt him, that tangle with Priest, but that one, I believe Ralph was going to take him out for the night.
Yeah, collected Summers in the process, and Panic was 3rd in the standings coming into the night.
Well, maybe not. Old Blue's pretty tough there. They might just have to put a tire on it. I'm surprised. These things are normally pretty tender in the suspension, but Old Blue hanging in there. Looks like the toe or camber may be knocked out just a bit there on the right front, though.
Yeah, even I can see that, so that tells you it's definitely got a problem. Here's what happened. Oh, the car on the inside there, the 88.
Yeah, looked like he pushed up, tried to save it, and then actually got a little bit loose, shot back up into Panic on the outside. Again, when you're racing side-by-side, watch, he's tight there. Oh, there's somebody on the inside of him, and there's just not enough racing room to go 3 wide. That's Gooddale on the inside.
Yeah, that was one of the Riverhead regulars there, Roger Turbish, that got a little...
See, there was the first thing that got Panic on the outside. Again, Priest got on the inside of him. He gets caught on the outside of those other cars, starting to move back up. And you can see, a little bit of 3 wide, not enough room, Ralph.
Turbish rolled on in his car, and Summers is still going around in his as well, so...
Yeah, I think they're going to have to bring that 3 to pit road and at least get that right front off of there and see if they can do anything with it.
Well, while they figure all of that out, we're going to take a quick break. We're coming right back to Riverhead. This is race 13 of 16 for the 2017 NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour schedule. Ralph Shaheen, Ray Evernham, and Derek Perniciglio with you as we go back to green and Timmy Solomito back to the front.
Yeah, good start there with Timmy. Well, he does not want that 15 up alongside him like last time. 15 got a good start and held him down on the bottom. Almost took the lead from him at one point. But Timmy with a great jump that time.
Kobe trying to take advantage of the restart on Soper here. See if he can wiggle his way up to 2nd, but Soper does a great job on the outside and hangs on to it. Priest also inching his way up. Looks like he's up to about 7th now. Right there, the 6th.
Yeah, working the outside. Oh, you know, just not a lot of grip up top there. Love to see those modifieds just hanging it out a little bit, Ralph. The Priest is working it. Just doesn't seem to have the grip up off the corner to get to the front. That's why qualifying is so important here at Riverhead.
That's Kyle Elwood, another Riverhead regular. The Performance Engines back number 38 to the inside. Priest is going to get around him. Priest leading the points, but Ray, the big problem for him is going to be the races he has missed and the one he might have to miss.
Yeah, you know, we talked about that, Ralph, but again, he's looking ahead, and he's been champion in this series. He does a great job and certainly adds to the modified series every time he comes, but he's got an opportunity to possibly go to the show. There are a lot of people talking about him in the South. He's done an amazing job driving the Xfinity car, and he gets a shot on a 1.5-mile track next weekend, and there's going to be a lot of eyes on how he'll handle that.
We've said it all year long. One of, if not the hottest young talents in the country right now is Ryan Preece. Solomito continues to lead. Kobe, who runs in third, is just 9 points behind Preece in the current standings.
Yeah, and that Solomito kid right there may be the other hottest driver. Between him and Preece, they've won 3/4 of the modified events this year.
They sure have. Preece with 5 victories. Kobe and Pennick each have 1 on the tour. Solomito with 3. And those are the top 4 names in the point standings as of now. Coming into the conclusion of the first quarter of this race.
Kyle Soper continues to do a great job in Wayne Anderson's car. Getting a little pressure from Kobe right now.
So we're about 50 laps in here, Ray. How are my tires doing right now? Are they completely shot and I'm just hanging on?
Well, I think that you'll see that some of those guys that are up front, the guys that are regulars, they're known to take care of their tires by how much time they have left. And some of the guys without experience, you'll see them starting to slide. Now, I'm a little bit worried about Ryan Preece's tires because he's had to work the outside pretty hard, and we've seen that car sideways. And as you know, as much as I like to see a car sideways and it's fun to drive, it's not very good for the right rear tire. Always impressed, with the shock packages on Kobe's car. The thing just seems to glide over the bumps. He's not had the sharpness to get in victory lane a bunch this year, but his experience and the team's experience have kept them right in the thick of this point battle.
Stoyer doing a very nice job in the black 45. He's cleared 5th place and has moved himself up right behind Kobe as Goodale in the 58 pushes his way past the 21 machine of Ronnie Williams.
You talk about that past that 50-lap deal, the tires may be getting short, but so's the patience. You know, people using the chrome horn there a little bit.
Patience and tempers, yeah, for sure. And the more the cars get loose and start beating and banging on each other, the shorter those fuses are going to get. Good battle here. Just inside the top 10. Sean Solomito subbing for Max Zeckham in the 20.
And Sean obviously knows his way around this place too. And again, Papa Jerry Solomito's got to be really proud of these two boys.
And Sean knows he has a good car. Zeckham's had some pretty good runs this year.
He has, unfortunately, and again, an injury's got him sitting on the sidelines tonight. But wishing him well and hopefully return soon.
Zeckham currently 9th in the point standings with 3 top 5s.
Goodale way down on the bottom there, but then shoots up across the racetrack like he couldn't finish that turn.
Yeah, same problem there, huh? Comes up a little bit. Goodale in the 58, working his way around this high bank 1/4 mile. A Riverhead regular who's now a Tour regular. And there's Bonsignor in the 51.
The Bonsignor, another one. You know, Ralph, we talked about him being right in the thick of things and did a great job last year. I believe he had 4 wins, not been able to crack victory lane this year, just has not been able to find that sharpness that he had last year to get to victory lane. It's very difficult to win in this series, and you have to have the whole package. Been consistent in the top 5, but just not been able to break through to get to that winner's circle.
Yeah, he put 4 up in a column again this year, but not the win column. There are 4 top 5s right now. Justin Bonsignor, 5th in the standings, and not having a win is probably the big difference for him there, not being further up in the points. Solomito, though, doing a great job. Leading every lap so far. Whoa. And another caution.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see as a leader as you enter a corner, a car facing you.
Yeah, and that's Corey Osland again, who's had his issues. That's the 2nd time he's been involved in a yellow. We have a look at it here. Let's see what happened to the Keith Grimes excavating backed machine.
Little extra horsepower from behind helped him around in that corner there a little bit, Ralph.
We'll still be inside of half distance here when we get back to green.
Restart critical here. See if Timmy gets another good jump to get out ahead of the 15.
Here we go.
Good restart by Timmy Solomito.
Boy, Kobe still working Soper on these restarts. Hasn't been able to get around him.
Again, you've got a veteran like Kobe saving those tires. I think if he gets many more shots at that 15 car, you'll see him get by on the bottom. But look at that. Ryan Preece has driven up the 4th. Outside, inside. Again, a lot of people looking at this kid.
He's done an outstanding job again. The points leader is right there, hanging on in 4th. What can you tell us about the performance of Ryan Preece in the 6 car, Derek?
Right now we're watching Ryan Preece in that blue and white number 6 machine. He's going to miss the next race at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway because he's going to be racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series at the Kentucky Speedway. Their goal was to try to acquire as many points as they can to build up as big of a lead as they can before going away to do that race. They're trying to do that tonight with a really strong finish. This is their short track car, the car that they like to bring here to the Riverhead Raceway, and this is also the home where Ryan Preece got his very first win of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour.
It's a single-digit points lead right now, just 9 for Preece.
Yeah, the good news is Preece is getting a shot. The bad news is that Timmy Solomito and Doug Kobe have the same idea, putting up as many points as they can. And right now, they're both running ahead of Ryan.
Kobe is the one who is second in the standings. Here's Sapienza in the 36. That's the black car with the pink accents. And he's battling with Kyle Elwood just in front of him in that yellow 38, Derek.
What an impressive run for the number 38 of Kyle Elwood, running in the 6th spot so far tonight. He's one of those drivers that's a Riverhead regular here. He competes in a NASCAR Whelen Modified here weekly at the track, but he's also made a handful of starts on the tour with his family-owned team. Tonight he's driving one of Wade Cole's cars. He's using his old Riverhead Raceway team here tonight, and they turned in quite an impressive run in qualifying, putting it 6th in qualifying at the drop of the green, and now he's running in the top 10 right now. An impressive run that's been going for one of these low-budget teams that operates on a shoestring.
Got to give a nod to his crew chief, too, there, right, crew chief? Robert Bourne doing a good job spinning the wrenches for him.
Absolutely, and the key thing that Derek said there was family, and that is the one thing that I just love about these modifieds, and I love about a track like Riverhead. Generations of families have been coming to work on these modified race cars.
Another yellow car belongs to Wade Cole there, the 33. Wade out of Heartland, Connecticut. Back to the front we go, where Solomito has been at the front of it all night.
It looks like Kyle Soper's car's just maybe starting to go away a little bit as Solomito pulls away, but he's getting some pressure from Doug Kobe.
Closing in on halfway.
Kobe rolling the bottom around that yellow line like that tells me that his car is good and it's staying under him.
Knowing how to set up that car to go the full distance is a challenge.
Just having the patience, having the patience to have all that horsepower and the ability to pass somebody, but not to abuse your tires too early. Again, that makes Doug Kobe, obviously multi-time champion and right in the battle of this again. His experience, his smoothness at a lot of these places. We've got a caution there, and I think there's some contact here, Ralph. We've got two of them hooked together.
Yeah, that Sapienza in the 36 is connected to Sean Solomito in the 20. You saw Goodell was there. He drove away already, and Sapienza cannot get unhooked from Solomito's car.
Yeah, he probably... Solomito was probably not happy being knocked around. It looks like, okay, Sean got down under him a little bit. And again, it's so hard to hold these cars on the bottom. And then it rode up, and actually the back bumper from Sean Solomito's car sitting on the front bumper of Sapienza.
Ponson, you're headed to the pits. Pits are open. Well, they'll clean up the racetrack, get everybody lined up, and we'll have the green for you when we return to Riverhead on NBCSN. We've reached the halfway point here at Riverhead Raceway. 60th time the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour has competed here. As we began the night, the series paid tribute to legendary driver Ted Christopher. And a lot of action On the racetrack, a lot of hurt feelings here tonight. This quarter-mile bull ring can tear up some equipment. Timmy Solomito has done nothing but dominate here so far. Getting ready to go back to green. Solomito, the only car who has led in 5 cautions for 38 of the 100 laps already run.
About to get another restart. Good jump there by Timmy Solomito. Let's see if Doug Coby can do anything with Kyle Soper.
Yeah, Soper's been hanging in there in second, even on the outside. But, Ray, think maybe that car's starting to go away. Maybe abusing those tires a little bit?
Well, we'll see. You know, Doug Coby's cars look good on the bottom, but right now Coby's got to deal with Priest, so that may slow him up a little bit. You know, that right now any of those first 4 slide up just a little bit, there's going to be a lot of position changes.
Williams in the 21, still hanging on the outside. He's just behind Dylan Stoyer in the black 45, who's had a solid run here tonight.
And young Kyle Elwood that Derek just spoke about, hanging right there in 5th place, doing a great job.
Priest, the points leader, in 4th. The man second in the championship, just in front of him in car number 2.
You know, we haven't had a super long run where the leaders have gotten to traffic yet, Ralph, but they're settling in right now and catching the back of that pack. So, well, let's see what happens as the leaders have got to work through traffic.
Coby looking great, Derek, as he sits there in 3rd.
Doug Coby, a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, running in the top 5 right now. He has said in the past that this racetrack has not been one of his best places to race, but he's done pretty well in the last couple of years, picking up a couple of podium finishes. He has said, though, that there's a huge hump that you have to get over from being just a 5th-place car to being a winning car here at the Riverhead Raceway. You have to be able to get around the track, set up for the track, and also know when to be patient and when to go. Right now, we're going to see if Doug Coby can break past that hump and finally into the winner's circle here at one track that he calls one of his toughest.
He has never won here in 14 starts.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of podium finishes, and when you got one of your worst tracks that you can run 2nd or 3rd out, that's why you're 4-time champion, because that way all he has to do is hold and get some points, be on the podium, because they know when he goes to Thompson and Stafford and places like that, he dominates.
A couple of cars involved in incidents earlier tonight, still out on the racetrack battling. Summers in that 64, Pennick in the 3.
And we see the 15 car just sliding up a little bit in the middle of the corner there, and Coby's starting to put the pressure to him. And when I say pressure, I mean that chrome thing that's bolted on the front of it.
Yep. Here he comes, looking inside. Not yet, but he knows that just adds even more heat to it, doesn't he?
Yeah, my bad. It may be painted black. I thought it was chrome, Ralph, but he's letting the kid know, okay, it's getting late in the race. It's getting time for me to go.
Inside of 80 laps remaining here. We got the coverage for you right here on NBCSN of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. Back to the racing here with the Miller Lite 200 at Riverhead Raceway in Riverhead, New York.
Oh, yeah, and we've closed in on that traffic, and look who has moved up to 2nd spot.
That is Doug Coby, who is right behind Timmy Solomito, who has flat dominated here so far. You were talking about traffic. They are in it now.
Yeah, and going back, and there we see Doug Coby making his pass on Kyle Soper. He was really on him all day, and then finally just drove under him.
Now he's trying to catch up to Timmy Solomito.
And Timmy's going to have to pay attention in traffic. This is a type of place that if you one hesitation and one lane taken away, and Doug will be on him as well.
Solomito with 2 wins here at Riverhead. Coby with none.
Oh, boy, as a leader, you do not want to see side-by-side. God gave Doug an opportunity to get up on the inside of him. Side-by-side lap cars in front of him.
Opened the door right up, didn't it? Now it's just which lane opens up in front of them.
Yeah, okay. All right. There you go. Doug Coby gets the lead. Tim's got to be patient now getting through that traffic. He's got a good car. Plenty of laps to go to try and get this lead back.
Took to lap 157 before somebody not named Solomito led here tonight at Riverhead.
Again, we knew this lap traffic was going to be a factor. Tim's car's been really good all night, though. As you see, he closes in on the back of Coby.
You see the fact that Coby has led 7 races this year, but only 1 win, and none of his career victories have ever come here at Riverhead. Can we change that here tonight?
Well, he's going to make that car as wide as he can. And again, with all his experience, that certainly the traffic, playing the traffic right is going to be important. But as we saw, if 2 lap cars get side by side, it's just a matter of which lap car gets the fastest, because really the lane that Doug Coby was in was just a little bit faster than the lane that Timmy Solomito happened to be in.
Ray, it's looking a little different out there too. It's a very nice night when we began, 67 degrees, but that's actually fog starting to creep in over Riverhead Raceway.
Well, it is out there on Long Island, so it does get damp. I think the fog will be all right. I don't think this early in the evening it's going to put anything down on the racetrack, but, certainly adds a little bit of an eerie cast to it, and it actually does hurt the lighting just a little bit.
Solomito just stalking Coby right now. Having to work a little bit harder to stay with him. Changes that rhythm we were talking about.
It does. When you're leading versus running second, it certainly changes that rhythm. But sometimes running second as you're going through lap traffic is actually a better position to be in. As we've seen in lots of times, the leader is almost at a disadvantage because the second place car can monitor the traffic actually a little bit better than the leader.
These guys have been having a pretty good night here too. The 45 machine of Dylan Stoyer and Kyle Elwood, very consistent, been up in that top 5 all night long. Caution is out. Rowan Pennick, who could not afford to have a tough night here, has.
Yeah, that car made contact with the wall earlier, and looks like something's finally let go in that front end. Looking at the left front there, looks like a tie rod. Very, very fragile front end pieces in these. They run a rack and pinion steering. Looks like a left front tie rod may be broken on that car.
Pennick third in the championship standings, just in front by a point over Timmy Solomito. That will change when we get to the final results here tonight. And Pennick not happy with somebody. Welcome back to Riverhead Raceway, which was built in 1949, opened as a dirt track in 1951, and then shifted to asphalt in 1955. And it's providing good racing here tonight as we get back to green with Coby and Solomito banging tires.
Wow, look at that sideways. Solomito, a good restart's got to be able to stay on Coby. Well, use a little bumper right there, working him getting in.
Yeah, loosened him up pretty good. And how about Priest in third? All of them in the top 4 in the point standings, fighting for the win here tonight and the championship at the end of the year. Just about 20 laps to go for Timmy Solomito to work his way back past Doug Coby. Bonsignor up in the front here as well. He's in 6th place in car 51. Keeping an eye on that 38 machine, which has had a pretty good run. And how about the 45 of Dylan Stoyer as well, Derek?
Well, you see that black number 45 running in the top 5 right now? That is Dylan Stoyer, and he hails from Bohemia, New York. The young man is just 15 years old, and he's already won a handful of races this year at the Riverhead Raceway in the NASCAR Modifieds Weekly. He also won the Iceland 300 earlier this year here at the Riverhead Raceway as well. He feels that running that race earlier this year got him prepared for this race here tonight. When I asked him, being a young kid going up against these guys here tonight, what your goal would be, he said, we came here to win.
Ralph, we see Kyle Soper going underneath of Ryan Preece, the hottest driver in the country. Some of these young guys are unbelievable. Did he say 15? My driving shoes are 15 years old.
You know, you talked about Preece early on that he might have used the car up going outside, inside to get to the front, and now maybe Soper's taking advantage of that here in the closing stages.
Yeah, it looks like Ryan Preece's car is a little bit loose, as we say. You know, you got to drive off the right rear so hard at some of these places, and it just doesn't take much. These modifieds make about 650 horsepower, and you know, to me, that's just amazing in a 2,600 pound car.
Less than 15 to go. How many points can Ryan Preece hang on to tonight?
Doug Colby only about 13 laps away now from that first win at Riverhead.
And it will be Colby's second win of the year. Preece in that TS Haulers Incorporated back machine, putting the laps in as quick as he can, coming down to about 10 to go.
Justin Bonson, you're after a pit stop there, trying to move back up through the field. One of those tracks where they don't have a mandatory pit stop. Whether or not you pit is up to you.
With the problems to Rowan Pennick, Bonsignor could see himself move up into the top 4 in points tonight as also.
He's driving one of his older cars tonight and just said he could not get it to drive off of the rear wheels like he wanted to.
Problems here, the 89 machine. Swanson, we stay green. Well, these tires are just worn out. These guys just hanging on the best they can. And one of them, of course, being Dylan Stoyer, as the 74 machine of C.J. Lehman moves by.
Yeah, a little bit of sliding, creating those passing opportunities. So right at the end of the race is a good time to take advantage of some of these guys. You see them just slide up a little bit. Other guys go to the bottom, gain that spot.
5 to go. Colby with Solomito inside. Solomito leaning on him.
Oh, we said lap car. Lap car just had Colby move up just a little bit. Timmy dove down there.
Colby trying to get that first win here at Riverhead. Can't get back up alongside. 4 to go. Colby has to reel him back in and maybe get one more shot at it.
Boy, I don't know. Timmy Solomito looks like he's driving the laps of his life right now, Ralph, as he pulls away from the 2 car.
The Starrett Tools 16 back out front has dominated here tonight.
Looking for a big win in front of the hometown crowd for him.
Timmy Solomito takes the white flag. Last 2 corners, and Timmy Solomito will have win number 4 in 2017 as he slides the victory at Riverhead.
Wow, we said lap traffic was going to be key, and just, boy, with 5 to go, it gave Timmy Solomito an opportunity to pass Doug Colby.
Colby gets denied at Riverhead again, and Solomito is headed to victory lane. Well, the fog is rolling in and rolling into victory lane as Timmy Solomito with a big win at the Miller Lite 200, and that is exactly what he needed to get the momentum headed back his way. And now Timmy will crawl out of that modified, and the celebration will begin down there. Here he comes. All right, Derek, let's hear from the winner.
Timmy Solomito, the natural, the kid from Islip, comes to his home track and wins yet another one here at the Riverhead Raceway. You bookended this season. How did you wrestle the lead away from Doug Colby with just 3 to go?
You know, I lost it there in lap traffic, and I wasn't going to let it slip away from me there. We had a really good car. I just seen the opportunity to strike there with lap traffic. He got a little bottled up and said, now's my time to strike. So, kind of got in there, a little short track racing there, wrestled it away from him, and was able to hold on. Just really happy for Starrett Tools and this entire Starrett team. These guys give me a great car week in and week out, and just happy we can finally get a win again.
A couple of weeks ago, you said you started to focus on the points, and that got you sidetracked because you were getting caught up in other people's incidents. Then you said from there on you were just going to go for it. How good does it feel to have that attitude, to do it, and then accomplish it?
It feels great. I was kind of racing a little bit hesitant and kind of got caught up in a few things and, set us back a little bit. So now it's kind of like, we're in the back seat and we just got to come forward now. So I'm just going to let it rip from here on out and see where we end up. We've got 3 more races to go and just really proud of these guys and happy to get a win at my home track again.
Timmy Solomito came into this race 4th in points, but now he finds himself right back in the thick of the championship battle.
Yeah, we'll have those standings for you in a second, but let's take a look at the final results first. Priest held on to 4th.
Kyle Soper, what a great job in Wayne Anderson's car.
Fantastic run. Dylan Stoyer, a nice job in 7th. Elwood also in the top 10. Some of those Riverhead regulars having pretty good runs. Ronnie Williams in 11th. Pennick, frustrating night, back in 21st. Let's hear from Doug Kobe, who's standing by with Derek.
Well, earlier in the day, Doug Kobe talked about getting over that hump of just being a top 5 car to being a winning car, and you ended up on the podium tonight here. You've been on the podium in the past, but do you think you've gotten over that hump?
Well, we didn't win, so the answer is no. I mean, we had a great car, and I learned a lot tonight about where to put my car to make it work. And tonight, I don't know if I've been ever more disappointed given the circumstances of the evening, losing, the best modified driver of our generation, the best short track driver, in my opinion, of our generation tonight. I really wanted to put this Mayhew Tools car in victory lane for Ted, and I was really close. 5 to go, lap cars. I mean, it's Riverhead, it's one of those things where Timmy jammed it in there and roughed me up a little bit, but just for a win, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. So I'm very disappointed. We had a great car tonight. Didn't come home where we deserved, but just a very emotional evening for our community, and that's about it. I don't have much to say. This is a tough sport. It's, you make friendships, you make enemies, and your enemies become your friends, and your friends become your enemies very quickly in this sport. But ultimately, we're all family, and, it's a really tough night for all of us.
Well, Doug Kobe finished 2nd tonight, but we're all thinking of Ted Christopher.
No doubt about that. Well, let's take a look at those points. And Solomito moves up to 3rd, Bonsignor up to 4th, and Pennick, the frustrating night, drops to 5th. And Kobe bites 3 more points out of it and has closed the door on Ryan Priest. Let's hear now from Kyle Soper.
Well, just a handful of races driving for Wayne Anderson in this number 15 team. Kyle Soper, a Riverhead regular, comes out of nowhere and puts it up with the best of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour tonight. Did you think you had a shot at the win, or are you just happy with the podium finish?
I'm obviously happy with the podium finish. The car came on too quick. In the beginning, I tried to get past Timmy there, but it was just fading quick. It came in around lap 75, and I'm like, it's not going to last, so I just held on, and then we had a couple late race runs, cautions, and Kobe got by me. And hats off to both of them. They did a great job. Ran me clean. And, I just can't ask for anything else. This is quite an honor racing this car and finishing 3rd against these guys. It's almost a win.
For a weekly competitor going up against some of the credentials that the guys on the tour have, what does it do for a driver's confidence?
Definitely boosts it. I wish I finished 2 more spots ahead, but I'll take what I got, and it's definitely a confidence booster.
Nice to see Kyle Soper, one of the Riverhead regulars, come home with a 3rd place finish tonight.
Well, Derek, the next race is one that we all look forward to, the FW Web 100 Ray from New Hampshire, the modifieds on the mile.
And that's the place to watch them. When you throw in the draft and the restrictor plate, some great racing up there, Ralph.
Well, you can see the fog has definitely closed in here on what was a very tough night for everybody at Riverhead with the passing of Ted Christopher. Memorial in his honor at the beginning of the night. But as Ted would have wanted, those 13 stickers on the car was, of course, Ted's number, and TC on a lot of the race machines here tonight. Somehow everybody pulled together and found a way to go racing. Ted would have loved that. Teddy, you will be missed, my friend. Godspeed to you.